I hereby summon all my imps. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So for a lot of you who might not know or not have seen, a while ago, not even that long ago, a while ago, but when the PC launch came out for Marvel Snap, one of the things that I wanted to do and wanted to see is how hard it would be for a new player to play Marvel Snap with the launch of the PC. And I went through some stuff and I saw some things, and if you only have an hour a day, it's really hard to get stuff done. Like, you barely have enough time in an hour a day just to get your daily missions done. And then at the same time, you also gotta climb the ladder. And if you really want to be on cutting edge, you gotta work on your conquest to get your extra stuff for the credits and the gold. So it's a lot to actually do in an hour. But it did show me a couple interesting things that I just wanted to kind of bring up and bring out there. If you look at my collection and the stuff that's just recent here, you can see that if I go all the way up to the very top here, I'm already getting into the Hobgoblin, which is a Series 2 card. So if you look at my level here, I already got up to 382. Now, to be fair, on one day I really did a grind and really pushed out for an extra 8 hours of good solid playtime. Maybe 6. So you can basically add one more week to if you only have an hour a day to do this. Or if you have one day that you can just really put in that grind session. But if you look at where I am, in 92 levels, I'm going to be done with Series 2 completely. And I'm going to be starting to get into Series 3. This is with basically 3 weeks into the game. So, at the end of basically this particular week, if you really pushed for it and did just your daily quest every day, everybody who started with the PC launch, if they actually got the stuff from the Twitch drops, is moving into Series 3. And there's a part of me that is glad that Second Dinner has moved it so that you can get into Series 3 that quickly. And there's a part of me that's kind of upset that Second Dinner's allowed you to get into Series 3 that quickly. The game really doesn't ramp you up correctly. When I was doing stuff in Conquest, when I was playing this deck in Conquest, I was playing people who had new cards. Cards like Magneto and stuff like that. They're playing meta decks in Silver Rings. Improving Ground, sometimes I would see meta decks. And that's kind of bad for a new player. And from what I was looking at, what I was seeing, the starting quest for this really doesn't help you along the way of trying to understand what's going on. When I was watching Asmongold do his Marvel run-through, I was basically seeing him having troubles understanding the core concepts of the game. Like, why Hawkeye was a good card, why it's important to focus on 2 locations. And I think partially what they need to do is they need to scrap the whole starting experience and start it from scratch again. It needs to be its own personal experience. And honestly, I think you could change it so that in the future, you can go down to level 0 if you wanted to. Because basically, right now you can't go below level 10. which is level 13 if you tried anything. So, there's really no reason to have this level 1, level 5, and level 10 if you made a good starting experience, a good tutorial for somebody to run through. And that would give you one more slot per week, or per month I should say, that you could add one more reward to this. Well, people go all the way down to 0. And that way they get used to the fact of losing cubes and stuff like that. Somebody zeroes out, somebody zeroes out. And say you can't drop below 0. It's the same as saying you can't drop below 10. You're just adding 10 to it. So, it definitely showed me a lot. It showed me that some older cards, some cards that you start with, can make a decently good deck. You know, when you're looking at the stuff for On Reveal here, let me dip myself off for just a second here. This is not that bad of a deck. I mean, there's some stuff in here that people are using today, right here, right now. If you were to just even start to go into the meta world of it, this is pretty much a meta deck right here. The Devil Dinosaur and the Sentinel and the Collector. And the Moon Girl. And there's your Agent 13 here. So, if you bought the Loki right now, you already have the Moon Girl, you already have the Devil Dinosaur, you already have the Agent 13, you already have the Sentinel. None of that is really bad. I think armor's in that too. And you've got the armor for it too, so it really shows you that one card, one good ability, one good something out there can make a deck like this function pretty well. And there's something to be said about the fact that this deck can actually do something. I mean, you might have to throw the Loki into it in order to actually get it to work the way it's supposed to work. But you've got the American Chavez. And you've got the armor. And already this is not that bad of a deck. You have to remove one for Loki, so I'm just gonna remove the claw for Loki, let's say. And this is not that bad of a deck. This is almost a currently meta deck right here. And you really didn't have to change or do anything other than have the starting cards. With everything else, it's just needs a little bit of like polish and fix on it. If you had given me 100 more gold, it would have made a big difference earlier into the run. Even right now, 100 more gold would kind of make a big difference. Because if you ran out this week and picked up all the extra gold that you get from everything, the 10 gold that you get from day 1, the 15 from day 2, 25 from day 3, the 50 from day 4, and the 100 from day 5. if you do all of that and you pick up the 200 that shows up for next week, if you had 100 more gold, that you could somehow finagle extra out of that. I think you have exactly enough to buy the bundle that comes up the next time around, because that's 2,800. So you're about 1,000 gold away. You're actually about 900 gold away, so it's not impossible to get to that point, but you keep being just under getting to some of these milestones for some newer players. And having a person use their gold early game would actually make them more incentivized to use it later on in game. Right now, this amount of gold is not enough to do anything with. And that's where it kind of really needs to have a tweak happen. Also, the other thing that I think you really need to tweak, at least to start out with, is letting people know that, hey, you're about to go from Series 1 to Series 2, or Pool 1 to Pool 2, or however you want to phrase it. Like, you want to stop here and just spend more time on Series 2 before you go to Series 3, or on Series 1 before you go to Series 2. There's really nothing that says, hey, you're about, when you cross this marker, you're going to go into Series 2. If you look at the level guide here, you start to get into Series 2 at 222. I mean, it's easy to remember if you know about it, but unless you know about that, there's really no line that says, hey, you're about to go into Series 2. And I don't think it being proper to put some sort of marker right around this particular point at 222 that said, hey, this is where you're done and you're moving on. It's just, when you find out down the road that being in Series 1 and Series 2 is sometimes the most interesting part of the game, and if you really try to be into the game and try to put forth any kind of energy and effort, in 3 weeks you're into Series 3. And once you're in Series 3, you can face pretty much anything and everything. It's just these little tiny tweaks that I want to see moved, adjusted, fixed. And then the game would be so much better going forward. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching. And as always, remember, play, bowl, fun.